together to offer support, hope, reduce stigma, share information, and to empower women and girls to learn about the importance of HIV/AIDS prevention, care, and treatment. Whereas this year marks the 13th annual observance of National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day in the nation.
Whereas in the United States today, approximately 1 in 4 people living with HIV are women. In 2013, an estimated 9,278 women ages 13 years or older received a diagnosis of HIV infection in the United States, and women accounted for 24% of the AIDS diagnosed cases among adults and adolescents in 2013. Whereas from 2005 to 2015, the city of Laredo received 191 newly identified HIV positive cases, and 44 of those were identified as women. In 2015, 2 new cases were identified in women.
So I'll read the last 2. Whereas serving children and adults in need, which is SCAN, Area Health Education Center, AHEC, Border Region Behavioral Health Center, Casa de Misericordia, City of Laredo Health Department, HIV/AIDS, STD programs, Gateway Community Health Center, Laredo HIV/AIDS Consortia, Mercy Ministries of Laredo, Texas A&M Colonias program, excuse me, Webb County Attorney's Office, and others are working in partnership to increase HIV/AIDS awareness in the community and recognize this day and its importance to all concerned citizens. Whereas the National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day serves as an opportunity for the County of Webb and the City of Laredo officials, along with the residents of the region, to come together, to come to offer support, to encourage discussion here with you and others, and increase education for women and girls about prevention of HIV transmission, the importance of getting tested for HIV, and how to manage HIV and AIDS. Now therefore, I, Pete Sines, Mayor of the City of Laredo, by virtue of the authority vested in me,
And I, Wawi Tijerina, your Webb County Commissioner for Precinct 2, on behalf of Tano Tijerina and the Webb County Commissioners Court,
And I, Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez, Precinct 1, on behalf of Judge Tano Tijerina and the Webb County Commissioners Court,
do proclaim National Women and Girls
HIV
HIV/AIDS
and AIDS
Awareness
Awareness Day.
Day. Congratulations to all of you.
thank you, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner Tijerina, Commissioner Gonzalez. It's a privilege to have our local leadership attend these type of events. And I want to say, Mayor, and the Office of the Judge, y'all have been with us for the last 5 years, and we really appreciate that because it shows that you believe in what we stand for, and that's to take care of our community. Thank you very much for being here. I would now like to introduce to you someone that's here representing Dr. Hector Gonzalez, who's a pillar in our community when it comes to public health issues. Dr. Waldo Lopez, he is the Assistant Director for the City of Laredo Health Department, and he will be speaking on behalf of the City of Laredo. Dr. Lopez.
It's certainly a pleasure to be here with you in this Saturday morning, very special day. And when I think of Women's Day and Girls' Day, HIV, and all of the related health conditions, when I wake up, and this morning I did wake up and I went to the kitchen, and there was my mom, and she's an 85-year-old. And exactly almost a month ago, she lost her lifelong partner. And I brought her with me from Orlando. She's been with me for a month now, and she's feeling better. Next week, I'll be taking her back. Next thing I thought, it was, who is the girl that represents in my household? I have a teenager girl. She's 15. She's a member of the U.S. Air Force ROTC, straight A student at United. And I think of all the challenges that she's been going through. And I think, of course, of my spouse and all of the support that she's been bringing to the family and to the household. In some, I think women and girls are the backbone of the family. And without them, we can't really succeed in anything we do. It's just a mere fact. Here with the health department, we have addressed most of the standing health issues in the past 30 plus years. And some of the things that stand out in my mind without looking at my notes, when I think of women, I think of breast cancer, cervical cancer, and of course, all of the other comorbidities like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, all kinds of things starts flashing in my mind. I've been in public health for 42 years, so, I'm already overdosed. And, I have a lot of things that flash in my mind when that happens, And then I think of teens. We have a teen consortium at the health department. We have a clinic just for teens at the health department. This is through THI, the Texas Healthy Adolescent Initiative. So we do care a lot about teens too, and about the things they're going through. And I don't think I could say it better than what our mayor just stated at the beginning. Look at the challenges you have. Look at what is right. Listen to your parents, for example. Look at your conscience. These are the kind of things that are going to guide you, the values, and so forth. They're the book answer. Don't be having all kinds of thoughts in your mind that would drive you away from the path that would take you to success and victory in your life. We have an incidence of chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and now HIV in young women and also in teenage appearing a little bit to be. And needless to say, we also have a morbidity rate of HIV. And I'm glad we have our HIV staff here with me, and we have Nurse Family Partnership. Nurse over here in her white coat, she represents the first-time low-income moms. They go to the homes. And also with teens, we're looking at teen pregnancy. In women, things as domestic violence. A blessed Sister Rosemary's heart, she's right here with us. We really praise the work they do in health ministries, because they really support all of us. And I think all of you are important. Our goal for this morning and for the future is to better the health of those people that supports the family, and that is the women and the young girls. The young girls will be the moms. So you're growing up to be the future in the support of the community. And we want you to stay healthy, because if you're not there for the rest of us, what are we going to do? So, we want to encourage testing. Today is a day to know your status, know your STD HIV status in particular. We have another program at the health department, and I know in our partners too, like SCAN and other programs too, we have this great program, the Hep C. And, you need to get tested for that too, for hepatitis C, which ruins your liver. So we want you to get tested today. We want you to know your status, so that as soon as you know your status, and if your status is not what you expected, you can do something about it early, and as early as possible. The outcome is a lot better when you start doing something about it early, when you know about any situation or disease of public health. So we want to thank you for being here this morning. Thank all of you, Gateway, of course, AHEC, SCAN, and I know all of you has been mentioned already. We praise you, and we hope that we will continue this partnership to better our community and better the public health system. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. And I also want to say thank you, Dr. Lopez, for your service to our country. He's also a veteran, so let's give him another round of applause. The next gentleman on the program is our Webb County Attorney Marco Montemayor, who's a fearless leader and who is an advocate for everything to do with our youth. Marco, welcome to the podium.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you to AHEC. Thank you to Gateway Community Center, city, county, all the partnering agencies and organizations that play a role in this battle that we face on a daily basis. You know, I'm here to help, lend my support, lend my help, anything I can do to further help the cause of preventing, treating HIV and the AIDS disease. You know, the last few decades has seen a tremendous amount of growth in the field of treatment and prevention of HIV. And I think part of it has kind of gotten lost within the last few years. Maybe we've kind of, other diseases have come forward, you know, and I think it's kind of been set aside where maybe we feel that, hey, we're doing a great job and everything's okay with this issue, when in reality it's not. That's what today is about. That's what these types of events are about, reminding us that we're still battling this disease and that it's still an important health issue and a serious health issue in our world and especially here in our community. 1 in 4 women are affected with this, and that's still too high of a number. So it starts with all of us here working together as we are to help prevent this disease, especially here in our community. The motto for this year, should I say, HIV prevention starts with me. That's the motto for this year. HIV prevention starts with me. And when we're talking about the youth, females, you know, it's HIV women and girls, but it also pertains to the males. You all, the youth of our community, I'm glad y'all are here. To me, I'm amazed to see y'all here, because I recall my youthful years, and these were some of the issues that were not on my mind at that time. I'll tell you that much. So to see y'all here today and be participating with these types of events, that's very encouraging for me in our future here in our community. And it also starts with you all. You all need to go back to your schools, your communities, whether it's your schools, your groups, whatever it may be, and you all are the leaders. You all now have empowered yourselves with the knowledge and information needed to go and help others, as I believe we are all called to do. Go and give them the information. Let them know what they need to do. What can we each do individually to help better this cause? First and foremost, abstinence. Abstinence, we use that as the best defense. Abstinence. Abstain from sexual activity. Sexual activity should be with your spouse in a special way. Okay, and I think nowadays it's come to the point where we lose that. We've lost that effect of how special that act is. And so I think we need to go back to that. And the youth need to understand that. So I'm glad y'all are here today to take this message back. What can we do? Abstain. But the reality of the situation is that youth will engage in this behavior. So now that we have to face that obstacle of engaging in that behavior, empower yourself with knowledge. What are the prevention methods? What are the treatment methods? What's the information? How can I take care of myself to make sure that this does not happen to me or to somebody close to me or somebody else that I know? What can I do to help? And so that's my challenge to you all today. I challenge y'all to go out and spread the word, spread the cause, help the cause, and do what we need to do in order to combat this issue, and let's bring those numbers down. Let's combat this issue here in our community, and let's continue to work together so that way we can have a brighter future for all our kids here in Laredo and Webb County. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for having me here, and let's keep pushing forward. Thank you.
Very well said. Thank you very much for being here this morning. We really appreciate you and your leadership. and that didn't happen. Sometimes this goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that we don't control everything in the universe, right? And we must allow other people to help us, to empower us with information and everything we need to lead a productive life. So with that being said, I want to give Commissioner Tijerina a few moments to say some special remarks out to the young girls and women about this beautiful day. Commissioner.
Thank you, and once again, welcome. Dr. Waldo, I love what he said. Women are the pillar of this community. Women are the backbone of the family. And I agree with you. Commissioner Gonzalez, did you listen to that? I do have to say that honestly, with all honesty, it is so good for us to be here together, like I said, to reach out and make a difference in people's life. And I'm saying people because we have youth, we have elderly, all types of people are affected with this horrible disease. And it takes someone special to do that, to go out, like our county attorney mentioned, go out to your community, go out to your schools and mention, spread the word because it is very, very important. I would love to challenge each and every one of you to do that. I do look forward to meeting with you again and hoping that we can do something to better our community. I won't take long. I already said a few words, but once again, welcome. Have a good day. May God bless you. May God bless your families, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those nice words, Commissioner Tijerina. It's always a pleasure to be surrounded by you and your positive energy, always. And I get my dose every Friday morning, so thank you for that. And now I would like to welcome one of my favorite sisters and my friend, Sister Rosemary Welch. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. And I represent Sisters of Mercy. Been here since 1894, Casa de Misericordia, 1998, and Mercy Ministries of Laredo in 2003. It's a great honor to be here. I'm thinking just a little, walk down memory lane just a little bit. When I got back from Guatemala in 1992, Manny Sanchez, Arturo Diaz, the people from the consortium, Maria Elena, Mr. Carranza, Burnett stepped out, Mike, people, and the city of Laredo, and then the consortium. There really wasn't much hope for survival in those days. And what we did is a lot of education, talked about prevention, but we spent a lot of time helping people live until they died. We lost lots of our really good friends, and many of them were some of your individuals' ages. Fast forward, we're very fortunate in the fact we still need education, we still need to work about information. 25 years ago, it was sort of hush-hush. You didn't want to talk about it. You certainly didn't want to talk about prevention, and I'm glad you mentioned abstinence. It's very important, a beautiful act that is shared between people that are committed, love one another, and are going to take care of one another. We need to talk about these issues openly. I remember we had a little committee that was with UISD and LISD, and Dr. Click was a leader in that. Dr. Click was very much at the forefront, and people didn't want to talk about it. And if you keep something a secret, you're going to have a problem. So I think that I congratulate the groups now that we have. There was a City of Laredo and then the consortium. We went out trying to get money from everyone to help people get bus tokens, people get to rent, and just get food. Now we're really, really fortunate. We have the City of Laredo, consortium continues, SCAN, Pillar, what you're all doing, and Pillar. And then all the other agencies that support you and work with you to try to make sure that we get the word out. And I, along with all these wonderful speakers, I challenge each one of the young people in this room to go out and tell one other person what you heard today. Share the information with just one person. I know you're here you want to volunteer. I also know you get service hours, which are very important. I challenge you to go back and tell somebody. Not one of your buddies that's here today, maybe someone who wasn't able to come, to share this information. And one of the things that, I don't know, I told somebody this story last year, and people really weren't too pleased with it, but I'm going to tell it again. That young woman that died in Aruba, that young girl, she went to a spring break, and they made a pact with two other friends. The three friends made a pact. We're going to stick together, and we're going to take care of one another, and we're not going to let one of us get hurt. 3 of them. 2 came home. Because the other 2 didn't live up to their pact. Did the young girl make some unwise decisions? Just like the mayor said, we all have. But fortunately, we've had someone there at our side. We've had something in the back of our mind saying, don't do this, don't do this. But sometimes, we don't live in a perfect world. Choose a really good friend. And if you're going to go out, really think about what you're doing. And look at yourselves and say, if my mom or my dad or my tia or somebody was sitting here in front of me, would I do this? And if I go home, am I going to be able to share? My mom and dad said, well, what did you do tonight? Oh, we went out and had a hamburger and a Coke. I shouldn't use the word Coke. Anyway, soda. And where I'm from, we call it pop. Springfield, Missouri, we say we're going out and have a pop. Just remember that you have your entire lives ahead of you. And when they're saying that the women are the heart of the running, the machine, la mujer de veras is, we left out a word, el corazón de la familia. So young men, take care of the women in your lives, are your partners in your lives. Young women, take care of the people that you love, because you can really maybe make a difference in somebody's lives. And 73 years old, I'm still going to be out there talking about it. I'm still going to continue and trying to share the message, importance of education. You all could really make a difference. Sometimes they, oh, sister's very nice. We love having her around, that they're going to listen to you more than they're going to listen to me. And sometimes, I'm sorry, they'll listen to you more than they'll listen to their parents. You go through a period in your life when you think your parents don't really know anything. Well, I'm here to tell you, when you get to be 21 or 22, you're going to come back and you're going to say, oh my goodness, they did. So go home tonight, tell your mom and your dad, people closest to you, how much you love them. If a friend isn't here today and you think they've made a mistake, go over there and talk to them. You can always remake that mistake. If you've fallen into something that you're not so proud of, you can change that today. And all the people over 25 probably could say that's happened to us. I'm going to change my life today. And lastly, I want to see how many people have seen the movie Coco. Okay, the idea behind that movie, which I see, it's a great movie. If you have not seen Coco, it's in Spanish and it's in English. And it's now on Netflix, I believe, or on demand. It's about our beautiful culture, and it's a Dia de los Muertos. But it also has a message that when we die 3 times. And I've said this so many times and people are getting tired of it. But it is a message that we need to pass on to our young people, to middle age, and other folks. When we die 3 times, when our heart stops. We die the second time when we're cremated or we're put into the ground and people have a wonderful funeral and they tell wonderful stories about us and they're all there crying, or maybe not. We die the 3rd time when nobody remembers us. The 3rd time when nobody remembers or even cares if we pass this way on this earth. Go home, as I said, and tell your parents. Do not forget your abuelos y your bisabuelos. But remember, we want you to have lives that no one will ever forget. Tell people that you love how much you love them. And then when you look in the mirror tonight, when you go home, when you've gone out on a date, when you've gone out to a party, I want you to be able to come home and say to yourselves, you know what, I did good today. I helped somebody else, and I avoided making an absolutely horrible mistake. God bless every single one of you, and I'm begging the people in this room that are the youth, make a difference. And do it today. Make your school, your friends, your city. And when we say God bless all of you, God bless us, God bless our country, but also we need to remember to God bless the rest of the world too. We're a global community, and we need to think of our neighbors across, our neighbors all across the pond. Let's pray for all of us that we, each and every one of us, have a better life. God bless you all very much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for your beautiful words and that beautiful message, sister. You always manage to outdo yourself each time and to set the bar higher for each one of us that look up to you as mentors. Let's give her another round of applause. I'd like to now call the president of the HIV Consortia and someone that has also been part of this community for many years in a very active role fending for the people that are less fortunate than us, and that are always looking for ways to help the community, not just by providing food, but health services, counseling, you name it. He's at the forefront. Help me welcome Dr. Henry Carranza.
I gotta make sure that it's working. Don't worry, this is not a speech. But I thank everybody for inviting me to, today to be a speaker here, and thank you to our great people sitting next to you and their message they've given to you. It is very important that you wake up, that you young ladies are being empowered. You have to empower yourself to follow your dream. That's what it is. Following your dream is to empower yourself and educate yourself to this type of illness that we still have around, which is a virus, which there's no cure for it yet. People threw it under the bus, but guess what? It came back. So it's still around. So what do? You have to protect yourself. You got to listen to your instructors, listen to the people like that we have here that are talking and discussing this problem. AIDS is not going anywhere, but you have to empower yourself. I have to use like the Olympics. Look at the Olympics. Look at those young ladies there. They won gold. You look at the hockey players. For 4 years, they've been trying to get a gold medal. And what happens? They empowered themselves. They kept out of trouble. And you know what I mean by that. And they made it. The fifth time around, they got the gold medal. Then there's a young woman. Still young. At 33, I say it's very young. Compared to me, I mean, that's and her name is Lindsey Vonn. Lindsey Vonn, I remember I was listening to the commentators on TV and say, well, she has a broken body. She's been operated many times. How is she going to get there? And guess what? The first time around, she got a bronze medal, made one little slip. But the last run, she got a gold medal. And that's empowerment. You have to empower yourself now that you're young. Not when you're up there old. I mean, that's too old then. But now you got to follow your dreams. And to follow your dream is to be careful. Be careful also, like the wife of a president that passed away many years ago, she made a comment. She said, just say no. Well, just saying no means also you got to have some education behind before you say no, because you got to know what you're saying no to. And she was right. Saying no was the right word. But here we go. We also have now Facebook. You got to look at Facebook, the things they put on Facebook. And a lot of our young ladies are being trapped in there or being hooked in there. And guess what? The education, they don't have it to protect themselves. They don't know about protection. Yes, some of them might know a little bit, but that's where the education comes in. Listen to your counselors. Go to listen to your teachers. And most important, everything begins at home. Your parents are educated. They know about what's going on out in the world. They have the experience, which you don't have. Experience comes with time, and that's the hardest thing there is. Then we're looking at young men and young girls when they get to the age of the hormone season, when the hormones start kicking in. You start falling in love. All of a sudden, you're falling in love and you're dating. Well, if you're going to date, you have to be careful because a lot of young men and young women, they use love for sex. And it doesn't work that way. Because when you're that young, what is going to happen to your dream? Your dream is going to end. And then your life is going to be a miserable life. But it doesn't mean you cannot come back. But for a long time, you'll wonder in your mind as to why I did it. So these are the things now that you have to empower into your mind and empower yourself to be the best you can be. This is very important right now. We also have young girls that get together as little gangs, and you have to be careful because you can be bullied into sex. You can be bullied into sex very easily. And young men, same way. Good-looking young man, hey, there's a young girl there that wants to meet you, and what happens? The young man goes there, and then all of a sudden, this good-looking young man is in trouble. And what happened to the young girl? The young girl, her dreams are gone. So we go on. Be careful when you hang out with gangs. I mean, friends that belong to gangs. And again, the major thing is you have choices. You got to learn that right now that you're young. You have a choice. As adults, we know also. We cannot say, well, I didn't know. No, yes, you did know. You made a choice. And you young people should not be put in this situation. But still, if you make a choice, you have to make the right choice when you think and say, I want to get to the pyramid, to the top of the pyramid. And to do that, you have to keep yourself a little clean and a little educated and a little careful because things happen. The world is not perfect. It's a beautiful world, but it also can be an ugly world. And I'm glad that I was invited this morning to speak to all of you. I'll keep it short now. AIDS, HIV is still around. And also there's another one that we don't mention, which is herpes. There's no cure for herpes either. So now is a time for you to put into your minds, I will be careful, I will follow my road, I will stay on the road, because on the side of the road, there's temptation. So you have to be very careful now. You young people, believe it or not, you are more educated now than in my times. You're now have more technology than I have ever seen. I still cannot even use a phone. My wife does all the phoning and everything for me. Why? Because I don't care. I don't need it. I really don't need it. My days are full anyway. So why spend your time on the phone? Let me tell you this before I close out. 60% of youth are on the phone. That leaves 40% that are just communicating, seeing each other. So how many friends are you going to have if you're on the phone? You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know at all. And that's why you have to be careful. Now try and spend some time with the real world. And I thank you very much, and I wish you all a good spring break, and may the God and may the hand of God be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carranza. That was very nice remarks. And of course, you always manage to remind us how important being aware of all these things that we encounter in the different stages of our life. I do want to say before we continue, I want to recognize Pillar representatives. If you can please stand, Mr. Manuel Sanchez, and be recognized. Pillar is another agency. Thank you for joining us this morning. Pillar is another agency in our community that cares tremendously about our community in regards to counseling, providing much needed services to try to alleviate the need for mental health services. And sometimes people forget that mental health is very much connected to the physical health of every one of us. And so without one, you cannot have the other one. So please remember that even though we are limited in services, there's plenty to go around for those that reach out for help. I also want to acknowledge Mrs. Science Thank you for being here. Please stand and be recognized. For those that don't know her, she is Mrs. Pete Science, the wife of Mayor Science. Thank you for being with us this morning. We also have some members of the HIV/AIDS Consortia Board of Directors. Please stand and be recognized. Maria Elena, Mike, Ms. Garcia, Bernadette, Sister Rosemary, Dr. Carranza, and of course, all of the students here this morning. This event is specifically geared for each one of you. Why? Because we made a promise to you many, many years ago, for those of you that have been part of the AHEC team, that we were here to empower you, not just with the education and all the opportunities that you can pursue, but also the different information that's available to you so that you can stay healthy, you can continue to grow and develop not just your mind, but your body, and continue to share that information with your family, your peers, your colleagues, everyone you meet in the community. I've always encouraged each one of you to do an act of kindness day in and day out. Well, today I'm going to ask you to take the message that you heard from our mayor, from our commissioners, from Sister Rosemary, from County Attorney Marco Montemayor, from Dr. Carranza, all these individuals that are sitting here in the front are here in the front not just because they are our elected officials and community leaders, but they are here sitting in the front because they care about your health, and they have dedicated this time to give you a specific message. And so as part of AHIC, I want to challenge you to do that, to take those messages and share them with your loved ones. When there's some downtime, when you're waiting for your phone to charge, turn around and talk to your little sister, little brother, your cousin, your mom, your dad. Say, guess what I learned today? See what kind of response you get. And let that communication be the topic of communication to kick off your spring break in a positive way, because we all can really learn from one another. So this is about learning and empowering each other, taking care of the women in our lives, taking care of each other, our community leaders, and I know many of you aspire to be elected officials, doctors, lawyers, all of those wonderful professions that we must continue to develop to have a healthy life. I also want to acknowledge Gateway Community Health Center for allowing us to be here today. Mr. Elmo Lopez, all of their board members. Mara, thank you for your support. And also all the people wearing red. Thank you for remembering that, for wearing red. I really appreciate you very, very much. We're going to do some door prizes, and then we're going to take a group picture with some of the students in the back. And if the leaders can stay where you are, can I get some students to come to the back?
Good morning. I'm so sorry. Before we do this, on behalf of Gateway and Elmo Lopez Jr., our CEO, and on behalf of all of the other agencies here, it would be a crime if we didn't say a thank you to Miss Julie Bazan for this event, for helping out the other agencies organize this event, and for everything else that she heads up with AHEC in the community. Everyone that's here knows that if there is an issue in Laredo that is health involved or that involves our youth, that Ms. Julie, and including our veterans, that Ms. Julie Bazan is there at the forefront, ready to fight for all of us. And so I would please ask everyone to give Ms. Bazan a round of applause. So again, thank you so much for being here. For those of you that have never been to Gateway, I invite you back for anything for the agencies. Please know that you always have a home here if you need to have a conference like this. We invite you. Gateway will always be a partner to anyone that needs one. Thank you so much. Excuse me.
Thank you, Mara. But I want to say this just a moment. What I do is because I love God with all my heart, and his life is mine. And so I am his servant. And whatever I can do to serve not just my community, but everyone that needs something, I might not have all the resources or all the connections, but I have the passion. And somehow or another, God manages to put the right people in my room, like Sister Rosemary and many others. So thank you. This is my way of showing him how much I love him. And now we're going to take a nice, beautiful picture. And students, thank you so much for being here. Get on the other side of the flag, Nathan. Gabriela, can you please take this chair representing SCAN? And let's see, who else? Do we have all the agencies here? Okay. Manny, let's see, do we have Linda? Anybody else from the other, Clarissa? Vicky, get in the picture for me, please. And get on the other side so we can balance it out. Vicky. I'll stand right here next to my friend. Okay, everybody. Everybody smile. So at the count of three, we're going to say red.